Welcome to Let's Talk About This with your boy DJ Reality and your boy Sydney and your homegirl Latoya Jackson. Hey Latoya, how you doing?
I am well. How are you all?
I'm doing pretty good. My charger just fell, but I fuck it out. My phone was already charged. I ain't gonna worry about it. Other than that, good energy. I got up, did me a little workout, and I'm here now trying to figure it out. So, what about you, Sid? How are you?
Asher doing good, trying to recover. Still
Okay.
a little hungover, but hey,
Yeah.
well.
Uh-huh.
I'm here, and listen, let's get it.
Hey, you here?
Yeah.
So let me ask this: what's the first topic y'all want to jump into? I know we were talking about it's like, are we? I put this topic down. Are we living in a world where people prefer lies over truth? So like, let me. I think you posed this question, Sid, but
I posed that question.
yeah, but do you like? So I would say for me, when I see social media and stuff like that.
Actually, she posed that question about the lies and the
Oh,
truth.
Toya posted that. Well, I'm gonna give Toya credit on that. I would say for me, when I see social media, one thing I see is the people try to put on what they want to be, and I think fake it till you make it, but at the same time, a lot of times people try to, like, if they ain't working, they try to say I'm an entrepreneur and stuff like that, and that shit really bothers the fuck out of me. So, like, what's y'all thoughts on it?
I think that's why oftentimes I don't post a lot on Facebook, because I don't want to give people the wrong perception. They may see you out to dinner. They may see you, again, like for work. I'm going to work, Seattle. I may post I'm in Seattle. They're just like, oh, he's traveling, he's balling. No, that's not the reality. I'm working. So I don't want to give folk that false,
but
narrative.
The thing is, everything you post is going to be perception.
Correct.
I mean, because we live in that world. Like when Facebook was a little bit more closed off, and it was like when you just had to have an EDU and stuff like that. Facebook wasn't, in my opinion, used like that. I thought it was more of a promotion thing, and just, hey, look, I go to school here, you go to school here, blah blah blah. But now, you're dealing with family. You're dealing, like, it's a larger scope. Like, you look at how it started with MySpace, right? So MySpace was a thing. Now MySpace is totally gone, and Facebook is the one. But like, say if you, like you said, you post a photo, you in Seattle, you post a photo of rent a new car, and they were like, new car, who this? He's like,
And what's ironic about that is, like, you have a lot of folk, and I've met folk personally that they flash your money, they got the stacks of money on Facebook, they're doing all of this big time, and then we'll jump in my DM asking, can I borrow some money? I'm trying to get back. Can I borrow $50? I'm like, well, what happened to all that money I saw that you were flashing? So,
look, I've seen people blow through, like, professional, players and all that stuff, blow through the money quick, fast, but they still have to have that perception of them. What about you, Toya?
For me personally, I just think a lot of people feel like it's easier. It's easier to just believe the lie, because sometimes the truth can be detrimental, or the truth hurts. The truth can be so transparent. And it's like, if you see me in my vulnerable state, or the real me, or the real perception of my life, people will not accept that. So it's just easier to tell the lie. And that just goes in a lot of different arenas. When I posted this or suggested this particular topic, I really was thinking broad with that. Everything we do now has a spin on it. When it comes to politics, we've allowed a certain person to be in a position right now who has been a confirmed liar. We have promoted people that have been confirmed liars. And that seems like that's the norm. If you tell the truth and you put that spin out there, you don't even want people to accept that. You would prefer they accept the lie. And a lot of people they are feeding off the lie. And that, like I said, even in relationships, you can build these perceptions, right? Okay, so a person shows you one side of them, and they show you this, and they show you that, and then you start being around them, or you're in their space more, and then the real them comes out.
So let me ask you a question. So do you believe this is why a lot of us, well, I'm gonna say us, but a lot of folk have accepted, or they go with the lies of the current sitting president, that like I said, just a blatant liar. So you believe that that's why folk just do it because they accept the lies, they go with the lies, they just what.
Yeah, because if I dug around for what the truth was, that would be too much work.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like the perceptions that have been put out there, and like I said, and this is in a lot of arenas, but in particular with the politics part of it, I feel like y'all think we done got a little bit dumber. Do y'all remember when we was in
We
school
definitely
and
got
they made
dumber.
you do social studies and social economics and all that? I'm not even sure if they teach that in schools, so that now when you're in this state of politics, people just put the perception out there and we just believe it. Nobody does the homework. People don't get out and politicians and people that are running for certain offices don't get out and do town halls. They don't like to really do debates. You know, our last sitting president shucked and driving around, even doing a debate with his former running mate, you know, because you don't want to be pressed with truths. If you have to do the research and you got to go and look it up, you're going to be like, dang, I ain't really want to believe that. But this is the truth.
Yeah. But look at it like this. Let me ask this question, because I know that, like, as an example, I remember in the past I dated a woman, and when I dated her, before I dated her, she said she had no kids. And then come to find out she had adult kids. So like, is that like, so this is why I see like people are afraid to
tell the truth.
Hey, I have 3 kids. I mean, they're all adults. They're all empty nest or whatever. But, but at the same time, it's like, well, like you had kids. So not to say that determines if I date you or not, but that could determine if you want to have kids or any more kids.
Or if I want to continue to date you, because you put the perception out there of one thing. And when the truth came out, you took away my choice. Yep. You took away my choice to say, I want to date you. I would try to pursue this more. I want to get to know you as a mother, as a partner, as a mate. But now I'm looking at you different, because if you lie about something little, you'll lie about something big.
Absolutely. And this is why my friend circle is so small.
Mm-hmm.
If you know a Sydney again, I don't put up with the bull. Like, just be honest with me. If you can't be honest with me, listen, there's no need for us even having a relationship, friendship, conversation. I'm good.
Because you get tired of wanting to be around people that just want you to feed them what they want to hear.
Correct.
I don't even want to be that type of friend, and most times I'm not, because I'm real blatant, and my conversation can come across as harsh, and some people even say that it's slightly judgmental. When for me, it's like playing devil's advocate. I really want that.
Look at it like this: being you is, and I think this is important too. Like, I think sometimes people haven't defined themselves on who they are and what they don't like. So when they don't do that, when you do it, they automatically assume that that person is this way, or that person is that way. That person only thinks a certain way. It was like, no, like I can have myself clearly defined and say, I don't like that. I like this. I'm okay with that. And it doesn't always have to be a blurred line. Like, explaining to people sometimes, like, they really can't grasp, like, no, I'm not. You say, hey, let's go here. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to do that. Then it's like, why? Because I said so. Like, I don't want to do it. And, and it's like, oh, why are you acting like that?
But a lot of folk, they don't know how to receive that from someone that's honest. And like an example, I have 2 good friends. March 1st is my birthday, right? So we had a dinner.
Okay, Aries.
Pisces.
Aries. Oh,
Pisces. Yeah. I get it right. Pisces.
Okay.
All
right. Well, you in the month of March. My birthday is 27.
So we was out to dinner, and these 2 particular friends, we were at dinner, and the one friend was telling the table, I'm grateful for Sydney, love him. He brought me into church, yada yada, just going on raving about me, right? My second friend flew in from Houston, same thing, having a good time. Well, as the night went on, they were just having this other type of this banter, this conversation, whatever it was they were talking about. And you know me, Toy, you remember when I'm intoxicated, I was feeling good, I was feeling myself. So I was like, the night is about me. Yeah, it's about me. Yeah. It's my birthday. Yeah. You're celebrating me. So they felt some type of way. So after we was leaving out of this one establishment, and I just told them how I felt. I
And
showed
that's
them
what,
how I
look,
felt.
you have to do that.
We have not talked since March 1st.
That's crazy. No, but the thing is, like you have to be open and honest. And like you said, people don't like the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you tell people stuff straight up, like this is what it is for me, and that's okay. If you agree with it, that's cool. If not, that's cool. You say, hey, you know, I want to have kids, and they say I don't want to have kids, then we ain't got to talk. You know, or they say, hey, I want to have kids. You be like, hey, I don't want to have kids, then that's okay. Agree to disagree. And if you continue messing around or doing whatever you're doing, then it is what it is. You know, the relationship will go where it goes. But just know that people have a choice on the things that they want to be defined as, and they don't necessarily have to do it the way that you want.
And maybe y'all could help me out with this, because with that, being honest, being, like I said, forthcoming or whatever, you have folk, oftentimes they may say they don't mind you being honest. However, it's like, it's how you say it. It's the delivery. I said it how I said it. Like, I don't mean no harm. And if you know me, if you know my character, you're my boy.
Yeah.
I'm not pacifying you. Like,
Yeah.
This is what it is. I'm telling you how I feel.
Yeah.
And you take it how you want. I don't mean in disrespect, but you should know me. You should know my love. You should know my character, that I'm not being ugly or malicious.
Yeah.
And yet folk would take them like, well, I don't like how you said it. I don't want to talk to you.
Mhm.
But I still told you the truth. What we doing here?
I'm kind of on board with that, but I always say that it comes down to the approach that you have when you know, like I'm very, like, say for instance, I'm talking to a child, right? I'm talking to the child like I'm like it's a child, but you know, if I'm talking to an adult, I'm telling you straight up what it is, and we can keep it moving. If you don't like that, then I mean, you just got to deal with it. I can empathize for the way you felt, but I won't apologize for what I said because I admit
that's the key. That's the key to what you just said. A lot of times people don't want to deal with the emotion that come behind truth.
Right.
A lot of times when I tell people that I do prefer the truth, even if it hurts. Allow me to process what I'm feeling, receive what you're saying, and either adjust what I'm doing to maybe offend you or hurt you, or receive what you're saying as your truth.
Right.
And then process those emotions that come along with it. It's okay. I'd rather hurt in the moment and be like, yep, that hurt. But at least I knew your truth. I knew where you were coming from. That's why a lot of times in relationships, things get so convoluted. People will hold back what they really feel to try to pacify the other person. You might say to yourself, you know, I was liking her in the beginning, but I don't really like her. But I'm gonna keep on coming around and I keep on dealing with her. But now my the way that I treat her is different. It's coming across in my actions that I don't like her as much or like him as much, without sitting down and having the conversation saying like, hey, when I first met you, you were very chivalrous. You were a gentleman, or you were very ladylike. Now I come around and you don't really get yourself together, or you don't open doors, or you're rude, you're dismissive, you're a non-communicator. What happened to the person the representative?
See,
what happened to the representative that came to the table? You know what I'm saying? And so when you're in relationships, and that goes with whatever you define a relationship as, a friendship, partnership, whatever. That truth line is always so blurred.
Yeah.
So you could have people that's working with you, right? And you might be producing or making a body of work if you're a singer or actor or whatever. And you have a person that's around you all the time talking about, that's great. What you did was wonderful. I love that. And then I'll go back to the circle of friends or confidants and be like, ooh, that song was horrible. Oh, that poem didn't, come together right. And so that was your truth, but you didn't want to share your truth so that the person you're telling that to could grow. Maybe that would mean I would go back and look at that song and like, okay, let's really listen to this.
So you said something great, and we can. I like the music part. We go into the bullying because I feel like people do bully people to do what they want to do. But one thing you said, like, say for instance, within music, is like and this, I mean, that was I'm glad you brought that up. It's a great example. When someone puts out a body of work, a CD or stream, whatever, there has been 15, 20, 30, 50, 100 people in a room with them at one point in time that said, you know what, that is great. That is some great stuff that you're doing. And then when you hear it as a consumer, as a listener,
that's a mess.
like, why the hell they make this album? Like,
You
what
don't have
were they
real
thinking?
friends, right?
Right. So it's like, yes, I'm never going to be the yes man. Like, I'm going to make sure that you, like, I'm gonna give I want to say brutally honest, but I'm gonna give my honest opinion on or my honest truth on how I feel about things, because a lot of people just don't they don't receive it well. I mean, so to go with the topic, I
A
feel like
lot of times they don't receive it well. You'll hit an emotion where they be like, "Oh, she just a hater," or "Oh, he just a hater."
Yes.
You know, they really don't like me, and you think to yourself, "But I'm your friend. If I'm your friend, I would want you to be honest with me, and I want to be, have the liberty to be honest with you." Like you were saying, Sydney, when it goes to character. People that know me well, because people that say that to know me is to love me. I am super genuine. But a lot of people will tell you, Toya ain't never changed.
Yes.
I have been this same person my whole life.
Absolutely.
And if you have been around me, you'll be like, oh no, she gonna give it to you straight.
And
Or she gonna tell you her opinion. And I know I don't come from a malicious place. And I'm really trying to give you some advice. And a lot of times people don't receive it that way until it happens.
Right.
And then they'll say, well, you did try to tell me, or you did try to warn me. If I was the only one in that room that told you the truth, at least that I cared enough about you to tell you the truth. Here's another good example. Y'all ever been to a club and y'all seen a group of girls or a group of guys together, and you be looking at the outfit and you be like, now why her friend didn't tell her no friend, that outfit right there, I know you think it's cute and it looked good on that Shein website, but your body
it don't look good on you.
That outfit.
You are funny.
But I'm 100% real with it, because I was out last night and there's probably 6 or 7 people. I thought to myself, who is your friend? Who came with you that said to you, friend, that's cute? And here's my thing. I would rather be the friend that say, friend, you don't want to see if you want to try something else. That right there ain't really that becoming. And even if I tell you that, you tell me, well, girl, I like it and I'm aware. At least one person in the room told you you probably should put something else on. And same with fellas. Y'all will be out with a guy and this dude musty as hell. Got on a fit, looking fly in the butt, but ain't nobody told this dude before y'all left the crib, dang dude, you think you ought to want to freshen up? That cologne ain't covering everything. Or here, my man, you want this stick of deodorant? You know what I'm saying? Because if you my homeboy, why you want to be around me and I'm the funky? When y'all get around y'all other circle, man, why you always be with that nigga? He always stink. But this your friend. You let your friend get in the whip with you. You let your friend come to the club with you, and the whole while you smelt him too. Now, it's one thing for you to say, hey, bro, I got some towels in there. You want to freshen up a little bit before we hit out. You a little right.
To it. If you tell them that, now they take offense to it. Like, bro, I'm just telling you what.
But I'm telling you, and that's why I say, Sydney, in that instance, if you still go ahead feeling some type of way, when you hear the murmurs in the background, don't be like, nobody told me. I'm that one friend.
Correct.
They said something. I said something because I don't want you to be out with me like that. I don't want you to represent the clique like that. That like I'm the low down friend that I'm with you, knowing you faulty, knowing you needed that little. Hey, my man, get it together. Hey, girl, home girl, you ain't got a different outfit. You really think that's becoming to your body shape? And like you said before, sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Correct.
But it's still the truth.
Yep. I'm learning that. I promise you I'm learning that because I learned that lesson through my daughter. And I'm giving an example. I used to say so much to my daughter, and I was like, "Why are you always offended when I say something to you?" And my daughter's like, "Dad, let me sit you down." So she talked to me. She said, "Dad, you're telling the truth," but she said, I don't expect that. My friends don't tell me because I'll look at her and I'll be like, "Why is your wig looking like that? What is going on with you?" Because I'm not saying I'm about image, but when I go out, I look in the mirror. I look at my teeth. I look at my face. I look if my clothes are wrinkled or not. Like, I'm that guy that if you see me, everybody knows Sydney, he's gonna be on point. I play it safe, whether I'm clean or whatever. But when I go out, you're gonna know I'm gonna look good. You're not gonna have nothing to say about me like that. My breath, nothing. My hygiene. And my daughter, I'll be like, "Girl, why?" And she say, "You know what, Dad? All right." She said, "Thank you." So now she appreciates. So when she goes out, she's like, "Dad, I need you to tell me what I look like." And I'm like, "That's good. You tilt your wig this way. You look good." Like, I'm gonna give her, because I said, "I'd rather tell you than your friends. They laughing at you."
Or your friends that don't say nothing, but the crowd is saying something. The people in the background are saying something. And you showed up with 5 other people. And out of them 5 people, not one person had the confidence to say, "Friend, fix that.
It's
Do this. Here go a breath mint. Here go something." Y'all just gonna ride with the lie, go along with the foolery, and then to preserve somebody's feelings. I'd rather tell you the truth and let you be mad at me for a minute, because you can only be mad for a little while, then you got to get over it. Because it's been said. Now at this point, we gonna move along. I told you, if you ask my advice, I'm gonna tell you. Here's another scenario I'm gonna throw out there. There's a friend of mine who's currently in a situationship or whatever, and the guy that she was dealing with or whatever is what you would call a hoe, or he get around, a man of our town, who what they call him, a Johnny B. Good, or whatever you want to call him. And she says she found some information out, and she was like, "I feel bad for her that she found that out." And I said to her, "But I don't." I said, when somebody show you who they are and all the red flags are there, and you still perceive or want to go with the lie that you've created in your head about this person, when they showed you I don't have no sympathy for that. Now I'm sad that you were hurt, because we're human, and everybody should,
Yeah, you can empathize with it.
Exactly. But at the same time, am I sad about the situation? No, because you had to know at some point in time the truth was really gonna come out, because you saw the red flags, but you chose to believe the lie. You chose to believe the perception of what you had created in your head about this person versus seeing some blatant truths right up front.
However,
so I have no sympathy for the situation. Why should I have sympathy? You knew it was coming. And if you know you got a man that get around, here's my thing.
Well,
accept him as he is. Did you thought that because you came into the picture, he was going to stop being the hoe? He was going to stop being? No, you're the new conquest. If a person's track record, and this is what I mean about the research and the truth, if the truth states that man that been with 15, 20, 30 women, got 4, 5 baby mamas, he don't stick or stay. Clearly he get around. But now you come into the picture and you feel like you're the best thing since sliced bread. How you figure that? Look at his track record.
But I would say this: there is a flip side to what we're speaking on right now, because, for instance, you can give me your truth. You can say you can feel that's your truth. You say, "See, I don't like you have on, or this outfit you do, yada yada yada." You can express that, but are you yet speaking truth, or are you like I said, hating because it looked good, it looked better on me than you? Because I can get away with it, but your body may not be built. You may be old Bell Pepper Buick built refrigerator, big back type built, and I'm slim. I'm just saying, it may look better on me. So are you giving me an honest opinion, or you just look at me like, darn, I wish I can get that, but you're gonna be, but that's your honesty. Oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't.
That's where you get into the word of perception. Now, even if you told me that and I thought that, what my reaction would be is, let me go look in the mirror.
Okay, right.
I would say, to anybody and everybody, and I always tell people, invest in a full length mirror.
But
Because
you don't.
you're saying and I get what you're saying about the caveat too. Oh, is he really just hating? But even if he's not, let me take the initiative to go take a second look.
Correct.
And if I go take a second look in the mirror and this shirt really is tight, it's cutting off the circulation on this muscle. You know what I'm saying? If my body built like a upside down pear or a triangle, and I look in the mirror and I really look at that and say that is appealing, that's fine, because now I'm in my truth. I believe this looks good on me. But it ain't because nobody told me.
Let me say something real quick. I think with that too, you gotta, because sometimes with people, I've noticed, and I want to say everybody, but sometimes people are comfortable with the person or the group that they're with to not look as good as them, so they can look that much better.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So sometimes people aren't going to tell that truth, so they can still be the one that's shining, the one that's getting the pick me, what do you call it? Pick me, whatever phrase it was. But all that being said, sometimes you got to be cautious of like, well, you got to be self-aware that, hey, look, I put on this, I think it's good. Even if I'm musty, hey, this is the best me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you should be able to take that information. If somebody be like, nigga, if you don't get your musty ass in there and wipe off the deodorant after
well, you know what, Shantae, to speak to that part of it, I would say that's when you know the circle of people you're around.
Correct.
When you know the character, and this is what Sydney said before about character. If I'm with 5 girls, I know which one of them 5 girls is cut like that.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who's telling me that. If Shantae is telling me that, because Shantae is my boy. Shantae been with me since I was a kid. I know his heart don't mean
let your ass go out and be like, Toy,
you know what I'm saying? He don't mean me no. This is my boy. So if my boy is telling me this, let me take a second look.
Absolutely.
Let me, sniff a little. Let me, because I know who this is coming from. If it's the hating ass friend that when we get in the club, she always got something to say about everybody else, I might take what she's saying with a little grain of salt. If she comes into the group and I'm fine, I'm the finest one in this clique, whoop de whoop whoop, I might take what this person is saying with a grain of salt. But if it's my quiet friend that I've been friends with for 35 years, that don't never say things to hurt me, I'm going to take what she say and give it a little consideration, because she wouldn't have said it unless she felt something was a bit off.
Correct. I mean, and sometimes I will allow, and so we can move on. I will allow folk to do what they do, express themselves how they want. However, if I hear the chatter from others and you're my friend, I'm really going to say, no, I'm saying friend. I don't mind you doing, that's how you express yourself. It is what it is. But boy, girl, that's what they saying. Look, check that. I got you. So I'm gonna leave it with that, and so we can move on to the next topic.
Hey, real quick, I want to ask this question because I didn't see this stuff at all. Honestly, you had mentioned the Republican chat that with all of those comments, some out of a monkey and all that stuff. How was that exposed? Because some people were like, well, somebody said if somebody reads this chat that we could be in big trouble. So it's kind of like they knew it was calling people monkeys, the watermelon people, or something like that.
But I believe someone of their own circle.
Me too.
Yep. Put it out there because again, it was this has been going on for years. Like they've been doing this. This is not a secret. So for someone to put it out there, it's someone that's vengeful. Someone is like, you know what? I'm sick of this, or they may have had a change of heart or whatever.
If they was vengeful, when you think they put their names on it?
Well, yeah, they put their pictures out there. They pictures all that is out there.
I mean, I'm saying so within the group of text that I saw or within the image, like I didn't see any names associated to it. Right. So I'm just curious, like, did they say, well, this Republican or this person within the chat? Cause you know how like when you look at like when we texting and stuff like that, I see Sid name come up, I see Tori name come up. So like, was the exposure more just to show what was going on in the chat, or was it more so to call people out?
No, I think it was more so to expose what was going on in the chat. So
I agree. I think it was more so to expose. And like you said, Sid, I believe that was a person that was involved. And you never know, you know, you
Mhm.
might start dating somebody of the opposite race or religion or whatever the case may
Right.
be. Somebody might save your life, donate a kidney, and all of a sudden now you have a change of heart.
No,
You don't feel as vengeful or malicious as you once did because something has happened and you've like, this needs to be exposed. Or you also got some of them people that be working. Everybody work with that work busybody that infiltrated the clique, seeing what was going on and was like, I'm gonna expose this. I'm telling. I'm gonna put it off.
It probably. So let me ask this: like, not to say that it's. I mean, because we see the party that it's associated to, but do y'all think that it hit? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure these conversations are happening often. So, like, do you think that there's kind of a, like I said, to play devil's advocate, like there's a young Democrat group that's doing something like this, or
Probably.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'll say this. Well, I'm like what the preacher, the pastor said. If y'all saw his clip, that I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed because I'm overwhelmed to the point that I have to work in the face of a lot of folk that smile. Hey, Sydney, how are you? Great job. This, that, and the other. And they are calling us monkeys, watermelon, eat fried chicken, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it goes back to that whole lie stuff, like, don't play in my face. So I'm overwhelmed to the point that when it pertains to a certain race of folk, I just have nothing for them. And again, not to bring religion in this, but it's taking the Lord for me to like. He has to help me through this because
you gotta have some form. Like it doesn't. I mean, I feel like in life in general, you gotta have like it don't necessarily have to be a religion because religion is just an organized group of things. But like having a way that you do things to be able to deal with things in life. And for me, like I said, religion is heavy in it as far as my faith in God. So I'm like, well, let me not pay attention to this. Let me try to help in this situation. Let me try to be a better person. Let me try to not do the things that I think that are wrong or morally wrong. So it's just like, just have like, even like say for somebody like an atheist, right? So an atheist literally has to, even if they don't believe in God, they got to have a way of doing things that they think are right or wrong.
Correct.
It's just that we have a faith to say, well, the Bible, basic instruction before leaving Earth type of mentality. Like yeah, this is how they fucked up in the Bible. So I don't want to do that.
Was taught all that. Again, I always tell folks it's called context. You got to learn when it pertains to the Bible. It's called context, but we're not going to get into that, anyways. But one thing I love about people, black people. Let me just say that black people we love. Y'all can care less. Y'all can keep saying black on black crime. This black people love. This is why black people are silent. Black people are sitting back. Black people, we've always been there to support the cause, be there for the cause, fight for the cause. Like black people, women particularly, black men, we've always been there. But no other race show us that. It's, look, y'all finna get me on this tangent. It's sad that in our communities, you got Arabs at gas stations, you got China, you got Asians. Where are my people? They haven't given us that opportunity, black people. So yes, again, I'm overwhelmed.
You know what I say to that, Sydney, and this is me playing my little bit of devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
I often say that we as a race, and I'm talking about people of color, have gotten so comfortable. We think that because now we can sit in the front of the bus and we can own the homes in any neighborhood and we can make a certain amount of money, that we have forgotten the struggle that got us there.
Correct.
I could honestly say in our lifetime or in our parents' lifetime, they have seen racism go from being very blatant to a little bit more muddled, but it's still there.
Correct.
We have gotten to a place of complacency that we think that everything is okay. So I sit on a board for HBCU Club, and we take kids on college tours. This will be our 5th year doing that. And every tour, we take them to an African American museum. We take them to something that promotes the culture. And it's still a shell shock to watch the kids be so disengaged,
Mhm.
to be so removed from the struggles of our past, to say that somebody died for this liberty. Somebody died for this right for you to do this, to walk this space, to be in this place and time. And y'all think that this was the norm because that's what they want you to think. Again, I go back to research and believing the lie. We have gotten to the point that things are so muddled down that our culture believes the lie because they refuse to do the research. You can go into those spaces and you'll watch these kids walk past these walls and this facts and this information, and they barely taking it in
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
because to them, this is not reality. When I think about how they muddled down just even how things are being brought to you. So nowadays they didn't made it where cable is so expensive. A lot of people choose not to have it, right? But where do you get your local news? If you don't have that in your Roku or your smart TV or whatever, and you choose to click on that, you're getting your information from this phone, which is based off your algorithm, which is based off the things that you have shown interest in. So now you're still not doing the research, but they're pumping you the lie. And the lie feels better than the truth.
It does. And you know, it's crazy. Just like I had this conversation again with my daughter. It's like how our parents raised us, grandparents. In my house, you have to go to church, all that good stuff back in the day when we was coming up. In my house, she got to vote. You got to vote in my house. I don't play that because guess what? This is about your future, our life. In my house, you will get out and vote. So early vote, I say, get out there and vote. And I'm not even playing. There is no even the conversation. Anything she want to do, but in my go vote.
But look at it like this: like we're not. The problem I have sometimes with this is we're not that far away from the civil rights movement. We're not that. I mean, we have it like what 60 years. I mean, my mom was a part of racism, prejudice, all of that good stuff bad stuff that was happening in the 50s and 60s. Like
exactly.
My aunts have dealt. I mean, great aunts have dealt with it, but and it's weird too because sometimes you want to know, and I feel like that information is so suppressed within them that they not to say that they don't want you to know, they just don't want you to deal with it. So sometimes it could get lost in translation of things that we dealt with in the past. I feel like even junior high school, there was a split within race at times. It's like, well, like here's the white people, here's the black people, here's the rest, because like when I grew up, it wasn't we had all of the cultures. It was literally damn near if you weren't black, you was white. Even if you was Indian, even if you was Mexican, hell, I didn't even know the difference between Latinos until I got to college. Honestly. I didn't know what a Puerto Rican was. I didn't know what literally until I got to college.
You can actually pass for it. I'm just saying. You get treated different than I get treated because your skin is a little lighter.
Come on.
Yeah, you're a little light skin. So look, I get a different treatment than he would. He's a little light skin.
Yeah. It's funny. It's just interesting that in the things that were provided. Like I remember in third grade, that was one thing that really sat with me. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and I remember, and I'm a fucking third grade. I'm like, damn, they killed his pops. Damn, like he's doing it. So like Malcolm X was more of my upbringing. Like I wasn't like slinging bean pies or anything like that. But that was more of my attitude towards people. But at the same time, I still had a general kindness to everyone that was around me. So it wasn't as if I was, like all white people are the devil or anything like that. But it was just like, but be careful because of how Malcolm X was treated, how Martin was treated, how Harriet Tubman was treated, like slavery.
Why do we continue? And I'm not saying we're not, but it's just in my set. Why do we continue or have to be kind and giving and loving people? Black people. I'm saying black people. I ain't saying people called black people. We have to be kind. But it's always against us. Mm-hmm. This is what I like. Now it's
because that is what the world has already put us at the lower part of the totem pole.
I'm saying being kind, as in like for everybody. So I'm still on guard for the racism, the prejudice, and stuff like that. But I'm saying like I try to go into everything with optimism, right? Like this person is is a good person. But then when they were like, but I'm on guard, like, okay,
But-
well, I don't like the stuff we was talking about earlier. Like, I don't, like if I'm like, okay, that person might have something against me or something like that, or just is the fuck nigga in the crew, then I'm definitely like,
But
okay, well, I'll be
that's
kind
what
to
I'm
him,
saying
but I'm
is,
gonna feel him
but that's
over
what
here.
I'm saying is, we lead with kindness until you show me different. Like
Mhm.
I think black people, I always say black people, God chosen people. Let me just say that. Anyways,
Mhm.
we lead with kindness. We meet you, hey, how you doing? Whatever, what's up, brother? What's up, sister? Whatever. No matter what race they are,
Mhm.
until they show us different.
Yeah.
But they already have this preconceived notion. I don't like that because he's black. Like they already have hate in them. We don't.
That is what's been embedded throughout time. They have already taken us and deemed us as being the lowest on the
Right.
totem pole. If you go back and look into history, this is why they augmented the pyramids and different things. Once they found out that those things depicted people of color or a person of color, they wanted to go in and change those looks.
Yeah.
Because what it did was gave us power. A lot of people don't, like I said, don't want to do the research, don't want to do the history, but we were very affluent. We were a very affluent race. They took the knowledge and the things that we had because they wanted it. And to make it seem like it was right for them to take it, they had to make us feel less than.
Correct.
Mhm.
And so that's
It-
why when they
wait.
say racism isn't born, it's taught. It's true.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you brought
It's
up a
true
great point.
because even when you have people that you work with, and this I say this all the time, I got some people I love to death that are people of non-color.
Right.
Love them to death don't mean I trust them.
Yeah. Look,
As
you
they
right.
say,
brought
if
up
you
a-
put
go ahead.
both of us in a room and there's a situation, they're going to do what they got to do to save themselves. And
Absolutely.
that's the part that we sometimes forget in our race, to cover ourselves.
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself. Don't
So-
allow that to be the norm or the okay. I've worked in many spaces where I've been the only one. And I've learned to turn it on and turn it off.
And this is
And
why
it's okay.
your point.
But I tell you what, when you go back and check, I'm gonna make sure those I's are dotted and them T's are crossed, because I know what my worth is and I know what I bring to the table. And in that space, I would not allow you to talk to me or treat me as if I'm less than.
Correct.
But I'm also aware
Quick point
that
up.
when you're in your comfort zone and around your people, that's how you truly.
Correct. Yeah. And I'm bringing this quick point up. To your point, you were saying how folk will save themselves. This is going like to the D party, the Democratic Party. A lot of them, again, that's why we can't get nothing done, because at the end of the day, they are white, and they're gonna side with whiteness to suit them, to save
Yeah.
them eventually.
Mhm.
And that's
There
why
are definitely some infiltrators, and that's why they're so quiet.
correct. That's
All
why
that's
they
been going on in the parties, and you've heard very little from the Democratic Party to oppose it. Where were the challenges to believing that this last race that he cheated, when it was
Correct.
blatantly stated in a
Correct.
couple different formats? There was something that went on, but nobody wanted to stand up to it and challenge it like he did, not once but twice.
Right. They didn't.
Nobody wanted to say something is wrong here. That you mean to tell me in every congressional area, Kamala got nothing? You're right.
Correct.
You had all the millennials and the Katy Perrys and the what's the girl name that go with the Travis boy? All these people that came out in support of, and all they followers. And you mean to tell me that in certain areas she got zero?
That's that again to yourself. They're saving themselves, and that's my
because they infiltrate, because they're in there and they're going, we low key agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I look at it like this. One thing I've noticed, and you kind of alluded to this, and this is like the difference between races and stuff like that used to bother me, like when we were younger, or even as an adult. It's like, well, I remember one thing specifically was like, well, you talking white, or you talk like if you talking proper and stuff like that. It's like, well, you ghetto, and that stuff used to like really bother me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what does ghetto mean? Like, does ghetto mean like I'm getting it the way that you don't know how to get it? as ghetto mean like I'm not the scum of the earth, but I'm black and I don't know how I can't get it no other way. And that used to like really bother, like, because the thing is, when you in these rooms, when you move around these rooms, you can't just be in there like, okay, I'm just, I don't want to say be myself, but you know, you got to talk with a certain, hey, with a way to explain things. Like you can't just say, you can't go into a space all the time and say, well, I'm just going to be me. And I'm saying like talking slang.
But it doesn't matter how educated you are. This is why no one can sit here and tell me nothing about Jasmine Crockett. I love the energy she gives. Give it to them. She speaks our language. She is a beautiful black woman. Not only that, she's educated. I'm not gonna let these white folks sit here to call her ghetto. Whatever. We all coming for them. You call her ghetto, we coming for you. Stephen A. Smith, we coming for you. Bro.
Let me ask you this question. You brought up the topic. Now,
and you see, I'm kind of passionate about that.
I want you to jump into it. Tell us about, or give us a little bit more details about the Stephen A. Smith and Jasmine Crockett thing, so the listeners can have a little bit of understanding.
Well, most of us have saw the clip with Stephen A. Smith speaking against Jasmine Crockett, saying that again by her being ghetto,
that she uses ghetto rhetoric.
She's attacking Trump, and she's not getting any work done as it pertains to her constituents in Houston or what have you. However, they can say whatever, but Stephen A. Smith, as a black man, stupid black man, I'm gonna tell you that, and I hope we see this. You speaking against a black woman that's for us, that's speaking for us. You want to speak against her, but you have not said anything to this about this white man, this Donald Trump, that is saying all type. He don't even like your race, but you're for him. Jasmine Crockett is, as she's preparing us, she's trying to help us. Say, listen, I need all of you to prepare. I need all of you to pay attention. I need you guys to get focused. I need you guys to get out to vote. Like she's the one, because like to what Toy was saying, the Democratic Party is being silent. The other folk are being silent. Them white Democrats don't care about us as well. And so to hear Jasmine Crockett get up there and speak what she do, listen, a lot of us, we got her back. She is what we need in this party or what have you to move us forward. Because again, we can't go back.
So let me say this. I think the dope
and I feel like her rhetoric ain't no more.
Hold on a second, Toy. I think the dope part about that is she's being her genuine self. A lot of people are afraid of doing that, and that can just I was in an interview yesterday talking to the guy. I was like, hey, look, this is how I do it. If you want to, if you don't want to like that, then hey, and it's funny. Like, I mean, maybe I'm just in a position, not to say position of power, but I'm in a position to say, I don't want to do it. If I got to do it like this, this is how I want to do it. And he was like, well, hey, look, I'll contact you on Monday. Most likely, I mean, everything should be fine, and we'll roll with it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I told him my truth directly. Whereas, you know, sometimes, not to say posing, but you know, like sometimes we, you know, the fake it till you make it type of thing. I never been into that. You know, I'm a part of the culture, but it's never like, I'm like, well, shoot, I got to spend $300 to prove a point that I got money or or I got to wear these Jordans or It's like, well, no, like whenever, like say for instance with sneakers, I just always grew up liking sneakers, but you know, I don't buy them to show, but like, hey, look, I'm a part of the culture. Hey, I'm this, I'm that status, and blah blah blah.
These darn shoes in here.
Yeah, right. So, and Tony, I'm sorry for interrupting, but go ahead and jump into your point. My bad. Go ahead.
I was just stating that I don't think her rhetoric is no different than Reverend Al Sharpton's, the Jesse Jacksons of their era, when they were speaking to their culture and their community of that time, using the slang and the words that hit home for that culture, for that community. Is she passionate? Yes. Does it come across to them? They want you to believe that it's harsh. They want you to believe that it's unfitting conversation, when this ain't no more inappropriate than those comments that were leaked in that group chat.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So if in y'all spaces outside of the floor, this is how y'all talk. This is what y'all think. So why shouldn't I meet aggression with aggression? Why shouldn't I be just as direct and just as bold at what I'm saying without dilly-dallying or tiptoeing around it. Stephen A. Smith
Stephen A.
gets
does.
his money off of bringing controversy.
Yeah, he does.
Correct.
He
And
does it.
out of all of this, it ain't no different than excuse me, the chaos he was creating with LeBron and Bronny.
Correct.
Yeah, mhm.
It was his opinion. He had a platform to push that opinion, and ultimately it gave him more notoriety, and they probably paid him more money. The same will come out of this. Did he walk on her back to get that accomplished? Probably so.
Yes,
Is he
we're
going to
talking
lose
about
a
it.
few people? Probably so. But
Yeah.
is it going to matter enough to where it's going to affect him financially? Absolutely not. Is it going to make him be less vocal? Absolutely not, because that is his job. Herein that lies with the freedom of speech. Just like she has the freedom of speech, he does too.
Mhm.
That's
Absolutely.
what we come in when they want to pit us against each other. But at the end of the day, a platform is a platform. She has a different platform than him. I
At
want
the
to
end
see
of
y'all
the day,
both win.
at the end of the day,
At the end of the day, I
I
want to
don't
see
care
y'all
about
both win. Take
right.
your platform and do something with it. Can we expect him to do something positive with his? Probably not, because he has now gotten to a place in his life where he is surrounded around people that are not of him.
Correct.
So now you're starting to think of the people and think in the way of the people that you surround yourself with, right? If
At
you're
the end,
so removed, yeah, everybody got or know somebody that in their family where they be like, oh, they bougie now. They don't come around. They
Sure.
educated. They got some money. They don't come around. And then when you do see their social circle, you like, you got you more Karens and Marys and Andys and Tims in your little clique than the Yashikas and Angies and Tamikas. You know what I'm saying? So when you start to engage with them, you can see that their mindset has changed. Their views on their own culture has changed. Again, I go back to the place of complacency. We have gotten to a point that because we are able to reach certain heights and levels in life, we think that we have achieved something. I used to tell my kids all the time, don't get so complacent that you think we done made it. Because you're going to go somewhere, someplace, some space and time, and somebody going to remind you just how black you are.
absolutely. Absolutely. And
AKA
like in
Kanye
the words
West,
in the words
AKA
of Nina,
R.
go ahead.
Kelly, AKA Michael Jackson,
Yes.
AKA
Yes.
P. Diddy.
Yes.
All of these things,
Yes.
somebody will just step back and remind you how black you
How
are
black
and
you
what we
are.
really think and what
Absolutely.
we say in those spaces and places when you're not around.
But you know,
Again, this goes to our very first topic, believing the lie over the truth.
yeah.
So what were
Yeah.
you about to say?
But I'm saying, but in the words of Nene Leakes, and this is why I know this president, his whole cabinet, his administration, it will come to a fall. Because in the words of Nene Leakes, she said, "You can't win when you play dirty.
Mhm.
You cannot win when you play dirty." It is what it
Well,
is.
they've already shown what's done in the dark gonna come to the light. And 90% of this is still based around this Epstein thing, because they know that if the truth really comes out, he's going to be implicated as a sex
Brother,
trafficker. So that means he ain't no better than P. Diddy, right? He
There
should
you
be on trial, right? Okay.
absolutely.
And I said a lot of times, when they were talking about the whole P. Diddy case, and we were talking about how it was presented. I was like, again, this was all presented on the lie. You had already paid the money, so why did the story ever come up?
Yeah, so
Because
I'll say this about the Diddy thing. We had talked about this last week. The one thing about the Diddy thing that I didn't care for was, I mean, of course, that's what you're supposed to do as the defense or the prosecutor, is that they painted this whole image, but it had nothing to do with what he was on trial for.
exactly,
And it's
y'all
crazy.
ultimately the only charges y'all came down with was him being a pimp.
That
Y'all,
I mean, listen,
y'all
they
arrested him
just
for being a
run
pimp.
somebody out from space to space. Like, hey, look, if I fly a
Ain't
chick
that
out,
what pimps used to do? They
no, but
bring in the product.
if I fly a chick out, if I fly a chick out from Michigan to Atlanta, and I expect sex or whatever, then that's essentially what Diddy did. And that was the only thing that they can really say that he did. But they painted this, and like I said, I mean, I'm a fan of the mogul of what Diddy did. I mean, what Diddy did as a music producer and all that stuff, and as an owner and stuff like that. But at the same time, we saw Diddy come from. I remember, it'll never ever be a Bad Boy tour again. You know what I'm saying? Like, like they did the Bad Boy reunion in like 2018, and I was like, nah, I'll go to another one. It ain't gonna never be that no more.
That goal was to expose his fetish, and a lot of us adults.
And why was that? Because he got so complacent. He got too comfortable.
Right, but he got too comfortable.
Got too comfortable.
And they expose his fetish. So all the baby oil jokes and all this stuff folks do, half of y'all do that now. It just you're not on that scale like he is.
And it's gonna follow him for life. That part of his reputation is gone. He's no longer going to be looked at as a philanthropist, as an advocate, as an activist. None of those things. All that then got whitewashed.
Yeah, the sad part. The sad part, you look at, you're talking the No Diddy's and stuff like that. I mean, it actually questioned his sexuality, the way that he would. I mean, but it never really got into the other side of it, promote. Because honestly, I didn't like when watching the trial, hearing about the trial and stuff like that. Putting him, they were like, well, why did he, get on the stand and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, why would he get on the stand for them just to ridicule? Like sometimes people don't understand how the court system works, and if you can do more damage than you can do more positive, then it's like, well, we're not going to have you speak. And then honestly, like you said, with what's her name? The chick that he was with that got on the stand and got the 30 million. I see her as the villain. Cassie. Yeah, I see her as more the pimp than anything. She literally got away scot free. Nothing like. So it's stuff like that.
She is a perfect example of somebody going back and showing you what I can do when I go back into my space and place.
Yeah.
And
when I go back into my space and place, because she didn't go find her another man of color.
Mm-hmm.
When got her somebody that won't think the way that needed to be thought. He had no money. Yeah. He couldn't continue to live her lifestyle that she had been used to for over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
They had to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And I bet you, because pillow talk is real, one day y'all laying in that bed and he telling, you should finally tell your story. Y'all done had these 2-3 kids. How you gonna provide for them?
Diddy's trial has exposed a lot of what's currently going on. And this is whole different, another topic and a different podcast. Because see, I can go there. There's a lot of men that want to point fingers at him, but they're doing everything, not just with women, but with men. And we can go there. Let me tell you something. I can write a book, and that's why I hate to speak on like the DL, the fetish, all this stuff. I can speak on all of that because again, been there, done that, been around it, know them, and again, and some happily married with their wives. But guess what? She ain't doing it all for him. And because it's almost like this analogy I always give my friends. There's a man, my friend, you can marry that virgin wife all you want to. They say, oh, she's wholesome, she's Christian, she's this. But let me tell you about that wholesome wife. When you've lived that life with Bonquisha and Quanquisha and all of them, where you so used to going in back of buildings and back,
there's some fucked up ass names, nigga.
I'm just saying, back of cars, and you've done all this all your life. She dropped down from a ceiling fan and dropped down on it, but that virgin wife is not going to do that. So
and again, you think that them urges go away? They don't. Right?
You go up again. It's like a bear hibernating.
Mm-hmm.
That virgin wife, she didn't give you what you want. So that bear gonna come up. So you're gonna go back to that fetish.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And guess what? It's going to come out. So that's what I say.
We're gonna get to that one.
Yeah, we'll get it.
All right, let's pivot the conversation. You had mentioned the what's her name?
Tammy Roman.
Tammy Roman. Talk about that a little bit with her daughter and the whole wedding thing.
Well, like I said, she was on what Candy Bird speak on it, and she was speaking how like again, she doesn't accept her girlfriends. She doesn't accept her girlfriend's. I'm saying, hold on, I'm sorry. Let me back up. She doesn't accept her daughter's girlfriend. Let me say that. So her daughter's girlfriend can't be around, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I will say this. Okay, Tammy Roman has to right. She has the right to feel the way she do. And I'm there. As a gay black man myself, I get it. I don't expect my mother to accept, to want to be a part of, or anything of my lifestyle. However, I'm an adult and I don't care what you want to accept. Girl, you can either want to be around it or not.
Yeah.
If you don't, oh well. If we come to your house, we can get a hotel. If we come to that city, we go to a hotel. If you come to my house, this is what's going on. If you don't like
if you come to my house and that's who I'm with, you have to accept who I'm with, or don't come to my house. I think that's just the bottom line. We get to this point in life that we want acceptance. It's almost like when I told you the Ghostface Killer's son, and he has a song going up against him talking about, or his son has a song talking about, well, why haven't you accepted me as a openly gay man? And it's just weird that it's like, fuck pops. Like me and my pops are cool. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's funny. Like if he didn't accept me for who I was, then I wouldn't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just sometimes it's just life. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. But you got bickering family members that one person, like the Kanye song, aunt comes in the room, the uncle leaves the room type of stuff. It's like, well, sometimes that's just what life is. And I get it. Sometimes it's hard because everybody has, like your whole crew, everybody that means something to you has accepted you. So then the one person that, like your mom, like who means the most. Like I remember it's weird. I remember I dated this Indian woman, and not that I was afraid to bring her around my mom. I was just more so afraid on what she would say. Like if she would offend her. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I wasn't bringing her around. I brought her. I was like, Ma, this is blah blah blah, and this is who I'm with, and she was cool. Like I had all of this stuff in my head that she wasn't going to accept because she wasn't black, but at the same time, she ended up accepting it with open arms.
There was this clip that I think that was this mother, and because I don't want to misquote the clip and say anything wrong, but there was a mother speaking to folk about her son. Her son has now transitioned. And the mother was very adamant to everyone. I think she was speaking with Jason Lee and all these folk, but she was very adamant. They was like, you should accept your son for his pronouns and him transition, yada, yada, yada. And the mother was saying, she said, listen, I had him. And when I had him, he was a boy. He came out as a boy. He's not a girl. Regardless of what you guys would say. He said, and you know what? I agree with the mother. That's her son. You cannot change her mind as to who she had. You can't say, you can say all day long. That's the truth.
That's the truth. Like if she feels a certain way, I'm just saying, like, look.
But everybody was against the mother because she was saying, I don't accept him as her.
But look, I look at it like this. There's fuck niggas and fuck and fuck chicks out there like that, okay, that's who that person is. I accept them for that. I don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. A lot of people don't like we get to this point of wanting to be accepted. And I think that's the bottom line. And when we're not accepted, we're like, well, why? It's like, well, I don't fuck with that. It's just like, somebody say, hey, can I stay in your house for like 4 days?
But you can't force acceptance on someone. Like again, my truth is I had a son.
Yeah.
Because he may have transitioned. That's all good. And that's his life as he become an adult. However, me as a parent, you can't tell me what I don't have to accept they transition.
Look, go even further. If you transition to a woman and I'm a man looking at dating a woman, do you feel like that should be exposed up front? Like you should like if you transition, do you think like somebody should tell, or the transition person should tell the person that's potentially
goes back to what Toya was talking about truth. Go back what you're talking about. If I like you and I transition and you looking for a woman and I look like a woman, what have you, and you find me attractive, whatever, and we connect. Yes, I should be honest with you to give you that space to say, I was attracted to you, but now I found out this. I may yet want to be with you. I may not. At least give you that.
Don't take away my choice.
Don't take away your choice. That's it. Not say. And if you decide to go with it, that's your business. So what?
Yeah.
But
so what?
At least give you that choice to say, no, okay, yeah.
Tori, how you feel about that? Well, not just that situation, but just like with the
Tammy Roman and all that,
and the parents not accept, or the mom not accepting the person.
In my opinion, I mean, to each his own. I can't speak to what in her life got her to thinking like that. I would hope to think that the love for her child would carry over. Carry over enough to, even if you don't like it, you could tolerate it. I don't have to like a lot of people, but I can be cordial. I can be civil in your space and in your company. My best friend is gay. And I've always known. I've known since I was in the second grade. And even when he didn't know for himself, my stance was always to protect him. And people would say, your friend gay, or da-da-da-da, and I would be like, until he speak his truth and say that for himself, leave him alone. He is who he is. And so I can't say for her that she has to accept it. What I can say is you can be civil. You can be cordial. You can respect her choice and what she chooses. I think people get so caught up, and they used to make me so mad with what people do in the bedroom, because that's the only definition of gay that you can beat a person down for. If I don't talk to you about what I do behind closed doors in my bedroom, should no couple, whatever the sex, whatever they partner, should be judged by what they do behind closed doors. Because that's the only thing you keep thinking about. If your mind's so caught up in my daughter's dating a girl or my son is dating a guy, okay, and they human.
However,
do they conduct themselves as civil human beings when they're not in a space where they're affectionate and loving towards each other?
But the caveat to that is Tammy, but she also admitted, Tammy Roman stated that she was open. She messed around with women. So it's like, how are you not going to accept it? But you dipped and dabbled, as they say. Like men are some men are so sexist. It's okay for women, a woman on woman, to do their thing, but when you see men, it's so egregious. It's so nasty. What are we talking about here?
What they do behind closed doors, because that's the only place their imagination goes. Right. You're not looking at this person. I'm not looking at Sydney and saying he's a good professional. He's good at what he do. He gets the job done. He shows up on time. He's reliable. He's a good person. He has a good heart. I'm not looking at who you are. Only thing I'm thinking about is when Sydney go home, him and his men be doing this, that, and the third. That shouldn't be where my mind go.
And the question you should ask, the question that should be asked is, what got them to this place? What exposed that? What happened in his life that was exposed to that? You don't know. And again, it's another conversation, because again, I was molested by uncles. We can go down that line. And so it's like when people don't know, you want to have this preconceived notion, or just say, he's this, and you no. So figure out the story first before you
there you go.
One thing is that bothers me about that, say for instance, you mentioned the molestation, is that I shouldn't have to tell you the story for you to treat me the right way. And I hate I would treat everybody within the same vein, and then when I hear those things, even I'm more empathetic. But at the same time, I'm still, like I said, I'm treating you openly without.
But let me clear something up, because I know this may go out to the thousands or what have you. Because I said molestation is not the reason why I'm a gay male. Let's be clear. All right. Again, it just opened the door at a young age that I should have not been dealing with. So now I'm comfortable with it. Everyone that's molested does not come out as gay. So let me be clear. They're not all. However, I was open to it
Yeah.
And so now this is why
It's the
so, yeah.
life that you chose to
Correct.
live, and that's okay. A lot of people feel
And so-
like
and so
like
most
you have to
people-
live a certain way.
And so most people think because of my femininity or what have you, that they associate that with gay. That's not true.
Nope.
I tell
You
folk,
can move around.
I tell folk that
Well, all gay people aren't feminine. My
But-
best friend is
you're
not
right.
feminine.
All gay people are not.
And he's married, and his partner isn't either. So
Correct.
you know
Right.
that it's in who you choose to love, who you connect with, just like in any heterosexual relationship. You know what I'm saying? It does. Your femininity don't define
But-
you.
No, hold
but-
on
you know-
a second.
Go ahead.
Hold on a second. I'm
Go
gonna let you go, but look at it like this. Why does it have to be considered femininity? And like it's just who you are. Like
Mhm.
it's
Right.
automatically associated to how a woman's supposed to be, or how it's not like
Right.
it's not like you acting like you got
But-
titties.
but right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you acting like you got a pussy and shit like that.
Right.
Like you are just being who you are.
And I would tell anyone, I don't desire to be a woman. I love being Sydney. However, I tell folk, if you say I'm feminine, guess where that femininity come from? It comes from because I have sisters, right? And being molested by men, guess what? I felt safe around women. So I picked up their mannerisms. I felt safe in that space with women. So
And with
I know how to get with. So when it comes to my black
Exactly.
women,
And with
I-
my
I
best
get
friend,
hooked.
people used to say that about him, but what they didn't understand was he was an only child raised by a single mom that
Mhm.
worked. So yes, he learned how to do laundry. Yes,
Yes.
he know how to clean. Yes,
I'm
he know
nurturing,
how
yes.
to iron. Yes, he know how to put himself together. His mama had some style and some taste, and he liked it to dress. So even in that sense, and he's not feminine in his masculinity.
Right.
He
know
is this way, and people be
Yeah.
like, we knew he was like this, and I'm like, no, his mama at work. He got chores to do just like you do at home. He gotta go home and wash dishes. He gotta go do laundry. He gotta go get himself together because that's what you do when you're a child and you learn chores and it's just you and your mom and she's at work. Somebody has to help me out. Somebody has to do it. So yes, he's good at certain things. Did not make him be feminine.
This is why I don't like that word gay though, because I tell people this when folk ask about me, I say I'm just Sydney, and I say let me tell you,
Exactly.
let me tell you why. First of all, I was married to a woman. I got two beautiful children. My daughter is 20, my son is 17. When they are with me, I'm daddy, wife beater, Jordan shorts, walking around cooking, cleaning. That's who I am. If you catch me out on the scene, you may get a different Sydney. Little shorts, I'm turned up, I'm having a good time. It just, but when I'm with my kids will tell you, and they love me, my lifestyle, what have you. But if you see me with my kids, I'm just Sydney. That stuff that y'all think gay, that goes out the door. I'm a father.
Yeah.
I'm an involved father. I'm a present father. Always been there. And so I don't get, that's why it bothers me. Like when I'm walking and I see other black men, I walk by them and I throw my head up, how you doing? And they can't even speak. It's black women. I don't care where I go. Because again, Sydney like to dress. You may not see this in the podcast because it's a podcast. But anyway, when I dress, black women, when I go to the store, they say, you're beautiful. You're handsome. I love your swag. Like black women always boost my head.
Hey, dress how you want. Dress how you want. Ain't nobody telling you.
Oh no.
Where the outside clothes?
No. But it's black.
Bring them clothes in. I
But
don't
it's
care.
black men that always looking crazy. I'm not like, bro, what's up? Like you're my brother. I got your
That's
back.
right.
Like I'm there for you. Like why are you not doing the same for me?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not reciprocating.
And that goes to the last podcast that me and Shantae recorded. We talked about roles and the definition of roles and what those roles look like. And how is that defined? You being a father don't take away from you not knowing how to cook and not have been learning how to dress and take care of yourself. So where are those roles and these things? Who defines them? How do you put a definition on what's right and what's wrong and who should do it and who shouldn't? And if this is a female role or a male role to do. I'm pretty sure, Sydney, if a tire got on the flat and your daughter called and said, "Daddy, my tire on the
I'm
flat,"
gonna be right
all
there.
of a sudden
I'm
you
going
gonna
down.
you gonna do what you got to
I'm
do
gonna
to
change that
get that
tire.
tire changed. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Whether that means you tired, you get down on your knee and take it off, or call the tow truck.
Absolutely.
Either way it go, it's gonna get done.
Toy, you know what was crazy? The question I always get when, again, out in the gay scene that kind of drives me crazy. It don't drive me crazy anymore, but I understand. Some guys, like, when I say I have children, they be like, are they adopted? No,
Ooh.
I got pussy. What you mean? I was married. Why am
Right,
I gotta
right.
have and no shade to nobody else, but why y'all keep asking it? Again, they're looking at my femininity. Oh, you can't. No, I was married to a real woman. I got real children.
I got a real dick.
I got a real dick. It
And
worked.
you got them naturally. Y'all didn't go and get no test tubes
Right.
and nothing like that. You made them naturally.
You see my daughter, my son, go on Facebook. She look just like me. Everybody like that. It's like, but why y'all giving me that? Why I can't have children naturally? Like, I don't get that.
Sometimes they don't understand, Sydney, that at one point in time, it may have been difficult for you to live in your truth, but now that you're living in your truth, you're just happier. You're so much more at peace being who you are. And a lot of people dream about that, even if they are attracted to the opposite sex. The basic cores are the same. Some of them still want families, kids. I know a lot of gay men that I'm personally cool with that wanted to have kids and want to have them the natural way. They don't want to have to go and do this, that, and the third. They want their semen. They want a real egg. They want their DNA to be involved in some way of the process. So just because you live in your truth and you're happy with who you're happy with, don't mean that some of the basic things that people dream about in life aren't attainable, or at one point in time weren't real to you. At one point in time, you thought, I want to be married, or you wouldn't have never asked the lady to marry you. You thought, I want to be a father, or you wouldn't have took the necessary steps to produce children. So now that you have come into a new phase in life and you're living in your truth, that don't take away from the life that you had. They're here. The silver lining to it is they're here. I have a lineage. I have something to leave on. I can tell people that I'm a grandpa at one point in time in life.
I cannot wait for that day to be a part of the grand. Yeah, I can't wait.
Exactly. So, sometimes people get so caught up, and I guess that's the part that frustrates me the most, is the nuances of same-sex relationships, that they don't see people are human.
And to be honest, I'm gonna give you a fun fact. I'm gonna give you a fun fact. To be honest, and again, I don't know what this video will go out to people out there. But listen, I enjoy women. I'm just saying, it's as feminists they perceive or deem. I enjoy women. I will with a woman before a man. I'm just saying,
it's the softness.
It is. I love a smell of a woman. I just like how black women look. That's just me. However, I like a man because I don't have to deal with the nagging and the drama and the crying. Man, we go to strip club together. What's up? Let's go do this. We can do things that a man and woman not going to do, or she's not going to tolerate. He's not going to tolerate with it. I said, folks, let me live my life.
You built a relational balance of the things that you enjoy and partake in. Last topic, you had mentioned, and I wasn't sure where we were going with it, but you had mentioned ladies' night. Was that for the club, or you had mentioned that? Said ladies' night. Where is it at?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned. Look, I'm wrapped up in everything I was saying, so let me calm down just a little bit.
Okay. I was trying to make it light. You know what I'm saying?
But there isn't like a lot of ladies' night out there anymore. If you remember back in the day,
ladies
like clubs and like after 5.
Ladies get free drinks.
Ladies get free drinks. I don't see them. Advertise to the ladies anymore, and ladies' night, ladies getting free. Like, I don't see that anymore. Like,
you know why? I'll answer that because I'm a clubber. I love the club scene. I be out here in these streets. The club scene has just changed. Men don't integrate with women or interact with women like they used to. When I was younger, I say all the time. Now, sometimes I get so pissed that when I go to the club, I say there's too many Mitch Mac socks, Crocs, and half-dressed broads up in here. When I was younger and sneaking and going to the club, I've literally been going into the club since I was 15, 16.
Hold on a second. mismatched socks and Crocs.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll look down and you'll be like, you really came out like that. And where I was going with that, if they don't take the pride in themselves, even when I was sneaking to go out, it was something to get dressed up. It
Yeah,
was something
I
to
feel
put
my
on the
ugly shirt.
clothes. It was something to
Yeah.
kind of appear to look like you were playing that role, like I'm grown enough to be in here.
Yeah.
You know? And then you would go to the club and a man would sit at the bar and you was trying to get a drink. He would get up and let you sit down.
Yes.
And sometimes he would offer to buy you a drink,
Like a drink.
and all of that. That has stopped. You go to the club now and you could go to that bar and a man will knock you down, knock a woman down to get to that bar. Will fan the money in front of the waitress so that he could get service first. Will walk away with 2 drinks in his hand and won't offer you now. Will go stand on the side of the dance floor and won't ask you to dance because they don't know how. They don't know how to engage. And then these women, y'all done went to the point where what's the point of going to the strip club when y'all doing it for free? You come in there with your clothes half naked, everything hanging out. You bent all over on the floor, and you ain't dancing with no dude. You dancing with your homegirl.
That's
She
homegirl.
bouncing and slapping all on your ass, and you got them draws pulled all between your ass cheeks, and half of them stank. You know, they don't give nothing to be desired in the club no more. You know, ladies' night used to be to get men to come.
Yes.
Because women would take pride in themselves. They want to come and, you know, the men gonna get dressed up, put on them a little cologne, you know, because it's ladies' night. You know,
ladies
it's
all
ladies
dolled
in
up,
there.
wig on good, all that
There
stuff.
you go. Now they don't give a damn because they weren't gonna talk to you no way. They weren't gonna offer you no drink. They weren't gonna ask you, do you want to sit down?
Let me say
There's
this
no
from
chivalry. There's no reason to promote that when it's every man for himself when you come in here.
No, look at it like this and I see it from the DJ's perspective and then from the patron's perspective. One thing I learned, like from promoting parties, DJing parties, and actually attending parties, is that some of the like there were goods and bads of how the club scene used to be set up. And I say, or a bar or whatever, like the one thing that used to bother me the most, especially as a promoter, was having people wait outside for no reason. And I feel like that's people still do that from time to time,
right?
You know, just depending on the event or whatever that's there. But I always looked at it as I'm waiting to get in the club to pay you at the door. I'm waiting to get in the door to buy a drink. I'm waiting to ask this woman, and most of the time I will say this. One thing I've noticed is with the change how the club is set up, everybody is clicked up. So it's like, well, they clicked up with their boys and their girls. Who's with who? Can I holler at this person? Is that her dude like sitting, next to her or whatever? And it's more of it's not a real dance floor anymore. It's just some space and everybody's in their section smoking hookah and doing all of those things.
That's your experience.
No, I'm saying like that's literally what I see in Atlanta. Every space I go to, that from I want to say the heterosexual club. I think it's just
say that one more time. The what club?
The heterosexual.
There you
club.
go. All right.
And when I see that, I'm like, well, why? And that's where you say with the ladies' night, like it was to get women out. It's like, well, I've heard at times where all the women are there, less men are there, just because the women got in for 11. Not to say it should be a man's night, because I think that's ridiculous, but everybody, it's harder to, in my opinion, holler at different people where there's not the space. It's not the comfortability. Like you got 5 or 6 women, and you got 5 or 6 women. You trying to dance with one of them, and then the girl's like, "Oh, girl, don't dance with him," or somebody's like you automatically.
So define holler. What's it between holler and just being engaged or having a conversation?
There you go.
No.
Hey, how you doing? You look nice tonight. You want to dance? They don't do that, and a lot of times it's because in heterosexual clubs, men don't know how to dance anymore.
No, but
there's very few clubs you go in where there's a man grabbing your hair. I also do urban ballrooming, right? Mm-hmm. And it's an art that's being lost. But when I say it's the flyest shit you ever seen, when you go into an environment and the men in there know how to do it, and they know how to swing them women around, and they know how to step, and they put their clothes on. You don't see that with these young folks. Not to mention social media has taken away people's men's ability to get up enough gumption to spit some game. Now we're just jumping your DM, and I think I was liking her, I peeped her, or whatever. Whereas back in the day, before we had all that, you had to get geeked up. You had to come with you a little game. You had to approach a girl and be like, hey, you know, baby, that look good, or you looking good, and try to get some conversation going. They don't do that. And when I say I go out everywhere I go, and they don't do that.
You gonna let me talk today? But what I'm saying is, like, as an example, you say the ballrooming thing, right? How, like, say for instance, you do the urban ballroom, and you see men, you know how to do it, and then you go out, and then you go to these spaces where they don't know how to do it. Like, you automatically exclude the men that don't know how to do it because they're not in the same space as you. So
no,
you're gonna say, hey, I want to do a ballroom. They're not going to know what to do because they weren't a part of the ballrooming class or the space.
No, there's a difference, because typically when you're going to go do something like that, you go to a space or an environment that promotes that. That means everybody in there has that ability to do that. So when I go to a ballroom, an event or something, and here we call it First Fridays, there's an event that happens every single Friday that is geared strictly towards that. What I mean in the regular social club type of scene, they just don't know how to dance, period. When I was coming up younger, and I don't know about y'all, but when in the 90s, we had parties all the time. When I was going to Muskegon, and then when I was younger, we just partied. We threw parties, we had parties, but we also were cool with dudes that knew how to dance. They had little cliques that would do routines, and they knew how to move around. In our class reunion, Shantae was, I think there's a clip of him and one of our former classmates, Lamel, and Lamel could dance. Dudes don't know how to dance. So they rather stand there and watch you bend over and give me the free strip show, because that's what I would do if I go to the strip club. I'm just going to stand here and watch, but I don't have to give you $1.
And so
I don't have to pay you $5. I don't have to do any of that. So that I can pay attention to you bent over on the floor with your ass half out, you slapping on your breast, you got your homegirl doing all this. I don't have to engage with you. I got the show for free.
But this is why I invite the both of you out if you are interested. I always tell heterosexual straight people, come out with me to a gay club and see. And I hate the notion, the sticker that people think that someone. We don't do that. If you want to come to a Bulldogs on the Monday, let's say more women, straight women, come out to the Monday Night Drag Show, all of that. Once it's over, I'm getting on the dance floor, dance behind a woman, and she having a good time. She's not intimidated. She's not mad. She all up on me. We having a good time. Or a guy. People just dance. If you see the dance floor on a Saturday night at the Bulldog, it's crowded. Everybody just dancing. They're sweating. Dance music, whether it's reggaeton, whether like whatever it is, we just having a good time. We're not standing there watching, be like,
oh, I'm gonna get him.
We're not stand back and watch it. Waiting on something to happen, waiting on that first person to go out there, and then it's usually two broads that's on the floor, but there's some raunchy song on, and she's shaking and bending, and a friend behind her, and she's slapping and blah blah. And so why I gotta engage with her when I'm getting the show for free?
Right, she gonna get a man behind her.
I'm literally standing here with 2 drinks. I ain't even chivalrous enough to say, "Can I buy you a drink?" Most of them men go to the bar, they buy 2 drinks, and they hold them in their hand. But they sell
double fisting.
And then with myself, I like to see women, straight women that's new to the gay scene or coming to the gay club. I will buy them drinks myself. First and foremost, I respect you as a woman, a Black woman. That's first and foremost. Second, you're in our space and you're just trying to have a good time. I'm gonna make your experience that comfortable. So I say, let me buy y'all a drink. The girl be like, oh man, like. That's an indictment when a woman say, oh man, you buy me drinks. So that lets me know when they go to the other clubs, men are not buying drinks, to your point. They're not buying drinks like that.
They're not.
I'm buying women drinks because guess what? You're in my space.
Yeah, we all having fun.
We're having fun. enjoy this
And
experience.
that's how it be in my ballroom environments. Most of the men are older. When I first started doing it about 14 years ago, I was probably one of the younger people that had just joined in our particular area. That when I started learning, now when I go, it's like I'm watching these people get older and older, and the art is dying off because they can't get younger men to want to learn to engage with a woman.
Right.
In your ballroom, and you have to dance with the woman, you have to hold her hand, you got to pull her
Right.
close. You know, you have to engage. You need to smell good. Your breath needs to smell right. You know, you need to put the drink down. You can be focused. They don't want to learn how to do that, especially when and don't nobody go to the club around here till about 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Right. Correct.
You drunk and high. You know, you got on some clothes you probably had on since yesterday. I'm just keeping it a buck because I go out everywhere. I've been to clubs from here to Puerto Rico, and you gonna see it everywhere. Everywhere. You either engage or you don't.
And you know what's
You
happening
go
to
to Latin clubs, and them men be out there
out.
just dancing, and them women be out there just dancing. It's only in them African American clubs where you see that.
And you know what's happening now? Toya, most folk, to your point, because the men may not be engaged or the women may not be engaged, that's not coming out now.
Yeah.
They feel like, oh, it's just the young people, it's just the young folk.
Yep,
No,
yep,
no.
you 100% right.
Old vibe, a mature vibe out there. You got to get out there in it, and you can't be afraid to get out there and see who you would eat, who you engage with, etc. But most of like staying home now.
Yeah, it's easier to have a look. I'm an advocate of that. Like, it's easier for me to have a kickback at the crib. Say, hey, come to the crib. I got liquor, and plus I DJ, so I can set my DJ stuff up, and I even DJ the
so
party.
When the next event then?
We'll see.
I
don't like people in my house.
So how you look? But how you gonna say that?
He throw that out there and then retract it. Okay, Sydney. When I come down there, I'm just gonna go to the club with you.
This is the problem right here. People say I'll do this, but I don't like people. See, that's the problem right there.
That's the problem. That's
people
the problem.
I don't mind letting people in the house, but people don't respect.
No. But you got to find You should know the folk that's around you who you're inviting over. Because I'm the one.
Yeah, I'm never inviting nobody because somebody might get hurt in my house.
I'm a cook. Let me tell you something. I cooks down. And one thing about I love a kickback. I love people, but I would tell everybody. And again, that's what they say. See it, you kind of mean. I'm like this my house. This is my space. My bathrooms. And I tell them, okay, if you're gonna piss, wipe it up. I got Lysol. I got everything lined up. There's nowhere in the world you shouldn't be.
I had a dude come to my house in a kickback and ask me could he use my master bathroom because he didn't want to use the other bathroom because he had to take a shit. I'm like, bro, don't take a shit in my house.
You about to do it.
For one, you know what I'm saying? Two, why in the fuck do you think you can use my bathroom in my room?
But what if they eat something, they stomach, they get the
I don't give a shit. If you gotta take a shit,
you need to go home.
You need to go home. Like, and I was like, bro, no, you're not using my bathroom. You know, granted, I did use the bathroom downstairs.
Right. There you
go. But I was like, bro, like, you should have took a shit. I hear echo. Oh, you should have took a shit somewhere else. So
listen, something. It happens. Y'all know it happens. So you gotta be prepared.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Toya.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you, Sydney.
Yeah. Likewise, and I want to be a part of this ballroom event.
Oh yes, honey. We had an explosion in a minute. The last one we had, I think we were in Detroit. But if you ever come to Michigan, you are more than welcome. I'm gonna take you personally.
Let me know. I'm coming. I want to be a part of it.
Yes. And they typically in our area, there's one on Friday, there's one on the Thursday, there's first Saturday. They have them all over the state. So you can go from here to Grand Rapids to Lansing, Detroit, Illinois. But when I say, baby, when you see it and you see an environment where everybody doing it, that's some slick shit. And we get dressed when we go ballroom. And so it was a pleasure to meet you.
I'm trying to get your friend to we do theme parties here in Atlanta, 60s, 70s party, because since he's the DJ, you know, we can it's not happening like that. Something we can kind of
we go get to it.
So to your point, bring the mature folk out to
Mhm.
have a
That's
good time.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. So appreciate y'all for jumping on. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank y'all for.
Oh, wait. Get Georgia. Get out and vote. Early voting is going on. Get out
That's
and vote.
right.
Please do not open your
Get them
mouth. Don't vote.
congressmen and them Senate people up out of there if
There
they're
you
not
go.
representing your area in the way that you see fit. Please,
Absolutely.
please do the research.
Absolutely. Your local elections are very important.
Important. Super important.
All right. Well, thank you all. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye.